The liberal host, known for her no-holds-barred commentary and fierce critiques of the Trump administration, sat behind a sleek, modern anchor desk. Her perfectly manicured hands rested on the polished surface, gleaming under the studio lights. As she leaned forward, her tone dripped with condescension. "Let's be honest," she began, her voice slicing through the air like a blade. Melania Trump's time as First Lady was underwhelming, to say the least. Her Be Best campaign? More like Be Missing in Action, wouldn't you agree? A ripple of murmurs swept through the audience. Some gasped at the sheer audacity of the comment. The camera panned to Melania, seated gracefully beside her husband, Donald Trump. Her expression was composed, her signature poise unwavering. But in her eyes, there was a flicker of something else. Disappointment? Quiet defiance? Whatever it was, she didn't flinch. She didn't react. But the air grew heavier with every passing second. And then it happened. Donald Trump, who had been sitting with his arms crossed and his trademark stern expression locked in place, leaned forward. The second he spoke, the entire studio seemed to shift. "Excuse me," he said, his voice low and steady, the calm before a storm. The host turned toward him, her smirk faltering for the first time. "How dare you?" Trump continued, his tone rising with each word. "How dare you sit there and insult my wife, a woman with more class, grace, and intelligence in her little finger than you've shown in your entire career?" His words were sharp, deliberate, and they cut through the tension like a knife. The host opened her mouth to respond, but Trump wasn't finished. "Melania worked tirelessly as First Lady," he declared, his voice booming now, filling every corner of the room. "She traveled the world, met with world leaders, and championed causes that actually matter. And you? What have you done besides sit behind that desk and spout nonsense?" Silence. Thick, heavy silence. The kind that makes hearts pound. The host, visibly rattled, fumbled with her notes. The confidence she wore like armor cracked before everyone's eyes. Her face flushed as she struggled to regain her composure. But it was clear. Trump's words had hit their mark. The camera cut to a wide shot of the studio. The audience's blurred faces reflected a mix of shock and awe. Trump leaned back in his chair, a look of quiet satisfaction settling over him. Beside him, Melania remained the picture of elegance, an almost imperceptible smile curling at the edges of her lips. Within minutes, the exchange went viral. Social media exploded with reactions. Hashtags like #TrumpDefends, Melania, and #EpicClapback trending worldwide. Supporters hailed Trump as a man who stands by his family no matter what, while critics debated whether the host had crossed a line. But one thing was undeniable. This was no ordinary television moment. This was personal. And when it comes to his family, Donald Trump doesn't just push back. He strikes with precision. As the credits rolled and the lights dimmed, one thing became crystal clear. Anyone bold enough to cross that line would be left shaken, while Trump and Melania sat unyielding, an undeniable force to be reckoned with.